March 2nd, and this is another episode of Designing with Deb here at artbeats.com/live. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I always have to comment on how fast time is going by. It is March 2nd, so hopefully you guys have had a good month so far. We have plenty of time to do better if you haven't had a good month so far. But we're going to start this week out right because we're going to make something. We're going to hang out together. We're going to talk about beads. We're going to look at some fun things. So we've got a lot to do today. I see Michelle and Thaisa are both here with me today. Thank you, ladies, so much. They are amazing gals. They are going to support the show today. So if you have questions, feel free to chit chat with them and me. I'm so grateful that you guys join us here on a Monday morning. Let's see who's joining in. We've got Francie and KC. Kara is here. Gail C is here. Jane from Long Island. Hello. Bobby Henderson is here. Hello. Hazel is here. Kat is here. Jan T is here from Montana. You guys, I hope maybe there's been a little bit of a reprieve in the weather. We've had some prematurely hot weather here in Arizona. So we're actually hoping for cooler temperatures these next few days. But I'm definitely feeling spring, and I think what we're going to be doing today is a cool spring project. Hi, BJ. Good morning. So let's get the business things out of the way. If you're watching on March 2nd of 2026, either live or on the replay, this is the final day of the spring cyber sale, which is up to 40% off store-wide. That's a pretty cool deal. And you can still take advantage of that free USA shipping with orders of $49 or more. Yay, that's really fun. And you guys, I missed a couple of opportunities to share something with you on my Friday show. So I'll be doing that in just a minute. If you're watching at artbeats.com/live, that's the best place to watch the show live because we can see your comments. You can share the love by clicking on the hearts. I see the hearts, you guys. Thank you so much. And you can shop the show. If you're afraid to shop the show while you watch, do not be afraid because you can either click on those shoppable links that will show up somewhere on your screen. I think it varies based on the device you're using. But you can shop the show by clicking on those links, or if you don't want to wait for those links to show up, you can click on that little shopping bag. Also, could be in different places depending on what device you're watching on, but you can click on that. The show does not go away. You can still hear us and see us. So you can click on that, see everything that's in the show today, and maybe a few extra things. And you can do that while you watch. So if you're watching on replay, you can also shop the show. So if you've come back to watch this show because you missed it or because you really wanted to watch the project, feel free to click on that shopping bag. If the items are in stock, you can still shop them, put them in your shopping bag. And yeah, you can do all the things. So good morning, everybody. Let's see who else. Let me say hello to a few more folks before I get started with what we're doing today. Where did I stop? Let's see. Oh my gosh, a lot of you have joined since I stopped. BJ, good morning. Jill Lucas is here. Good morning from Wisconsin. Ilka is here. Let's see. Leah is here. She says it's -1 in Maine. I'm so sorry, Leah. Oh, that's cold. Gina L is here. Harley is here from Iowa. Good morning. Dominique is here. Hello. Oh, I'm so happy to see you guys. Thanks for being here. Laura Rang. Hello. Mary Dreyer. Hello. Michelle from Virginia, good morning. Mary Jane from Oregon, hello. Hannah from Iceland, hello Hannah. Kathleen from Delray Beach. Man, you guys are all over the place today. Hello, Santa Barbara girl. Ruth, Alice, good morning. You guys, thank you for being here. I so appreciate you. Edna in North Carolina is here as well. So I'm going to start by sharing just a couple of quick things, you guys. So today is the last day to take advantage of the special deal that we had offered. I did not have my package in time to share this on Friday, but this is a special deal. This is an assorted brick stitch findings kit. And this was originally created to go with brick stitch. So all of the different kinds of designs you can make with brick stitch. But you guys, you don't have to use this for brick stitch. This is an assorted findings kit with all kinds of great things that you can use for lots of different things. So you get some lobster claws, some chain, you get some big sterling jump rings. These are 9mm. Those are big ones. You get some silver plated ear wires. You get these clutch pin backs, which are really cool for gluing on cabochons or doing other fun things. So don't count those out. You also get a pin back. Pins, brooches are very in. Here are some beautiful silver filled 4mm jump rings. These are my go-to jump ring size. Jump rings, some curb chain, some 6mm spring clasps. Oh my gosh, another pin back. And here is some silver plated cable chain, and there's a ton of it. This is $19.99 right now. And you guys, this is normally like a $40 value or like a $30-something value. So this is only through today. That's what's left to grab this. So drop this in your cart. You'll be able to use all of these goodies with lots of different projects. So that's something I couldn't show you last week. And there are some new check glass bead mixes, which when I opened my box, I was so excited because I knew you guys would be excited for these. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is I think all of them. And oh, thanks Santa Barbara girl. Yes. Ready for spring. And these bead mixes are going to make you guys ready for spring too. So these are 100-gram bead mixes. And I'm just going to show you them in the package because I may actually work with these coming up. I think I have a project in mind. I started kind of working on that this morning. So if you want to grab these and work along with me, this one is called Lucky Mischief. I believe Julie Bean did a project with this one already. So I probably won't work with that one. But this is a possibility. Spring heirloom. Look at those vintagey colors. I think, yeah, there are cathedral beads in here. There are some faux, like irregular shaped pearls. Some really interesting beads, some rectangles. We did a rectangle show a few weeks ago. Oh my gosh, I think this one is my favorite. Moss and Moonfire. Look at these little quatrefoil shapes, the little rectangles. Ooh, there's some cool rondelles. This color blend is awesome. So that's a contender for me to work with. And this is so good. This is Crimson Noir. Reds and dark tones, but super cool for those late nights out by the fire, by the fire pit. And this is another contender. Midnight Porcelain. Look at the blues and the star beads. There's some little stars. These little like etched glass beads. Oh my gosh, you guys. Mixmaster Megan at it again. So these are brand new as of the weekend. So I know a lot of you guys love our mixes. So they are available now, brand new. You collectors need to grab them while you still can. They are limited edition, limited stock, and exclusive to Art Bead. So yeah, Francie, that does scream a statement necklace. So maybe that's what we'll do. So before I flip my camera down, guys, we're going to be working with Rosetta beads today. And these were just introduced just a couple of weeks back. And I love these. I am crazy over them. I had not seen these before. And I got really excited when I did because they are a very floral, fabulous kind of bead that this time of year especially gets you excited to create with. So I'm going to flip down. Let me just flip this light on and flip the camera down and show you my table here. So I've got just about every color of the Rosettas here, and I thought just let's quickly take a look at a few options. Oh, you just received yours, Jane. I hope you love them. Here's a trio of Rosettas that are stunning. So the best thing about these beads is they do come in different colors, different finishes. You know, we're always bringing you these great quality beads, and there's so many options. So there's probably a Rosetta bead for everyone that's watching and everyone that's shopping for them. So I thought this little trio was pretty. This is blue poppy, golden rose, and lavender, powdery lavender. And so these are a beautiful like pastel trio. I love putting them in pairs, in trios, in quads. I like to just kind of come up with some funky combinations. Like, look at this one. Here's a set of them that looks really cool together, really interesting. This is Neon Country Carrot. I love this color. These are Chatoyant Raspberry Rose. They have a cool chatoyant finish on them. These are Forget Me Not Flower. Really pretty blue. And then look at these, Neon Sunflower. So you could make a combination of these and no one is going to have anything designed like this. So they are super, super fun. It's just really great. Gina is asking, when does Art Beads Bead Mix Anonymous meet? I don't know. I think maybe we might be meeting right now. I have the same problem, you guys. I mean, look at the purples. Look at the purples here. Look at this combination. I mean, there's so many beautiful combinations of these Rosettas. Now, I'll show you one of these Rosettas up close, and I'm going to pick, I probably shouldn't pick one that's that crazy in color. How about this one? This is a beautiful one. So I'll just show you up close in case you haven't met them yet. This is the Rosetta bead. So it is a 2-hole bead. It is 6 millimeters and it is a check glass bead. So it has 2 holes that go diagonally through the bead, and it's got a flat side and a rose side. So these are just a beautiful little floral bead, super pretty. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. And they come in lots of pretty colors, lots of pretty finishes. These are called powdery radiant orchid. So again, like there's something for everybody. There's a color for everyone. There's a finish for everyone. There are some metallics. So look at these metallics. You've got a coppery one here. This one actually isn't straight copper. It's got a capri finish on it. I'll show you this one up close. This one is super cool. So if you like something with a coppery vibe, it's got just really an interesting finish on it. Super cool. And then you've got like your standard kind of gold and silver. So if you're looking to do some fun things with other colors, you can mix in really interesting colors with the metallics. Let's see. Jill Lucas is saying new check glass bead mixes and more link on my screen. When I click it, it takes me to a page that says this, all items. All right, Jill Lucas. Michelle and Thaisa will check that out for you. Not sure what's going on there, but hopefully we can get that addressed so you don't miss out. Oh goodness. Okay, Michelle's seeing that same thing. So Michelle and Thaisa, help, help. We've got some issues with those bead mixes that we introduced. Good morning, Linda in Boston. Thank you so much for checking these out, you guys. Okay, so what we're, and by the way, look at all of I mean, this is just some of them. Like there's so many beautiful options of these Rosetta beads. So I want to show you what we're going to make today. These are some of my favorite earring designs. So this is an earring design with the Rosetta beads. And this to me looks like, maybe a little bit of English tea. Like we're in the afternoon having high tea, sitting on a balcony somewhere and smelling roses. These are gorgeous. So this is just a fun and easy earring design using the Rosettas, and all you need are some Rosetta beads. You need 6 of them if you go with this exact design. You also need some 11-0 seed beads and some 15-0 seed beads. Now, I'm sure this could be modified with all 11-0s. It just will look a little bit different, won't have as much dimension to it. But you'll also need some earring hooks, and that's our little pretty earring design. Now, you may have noticed that the Rosetta beads also look very much like a cabochon bead. So maybe you're familiar with these. These are also a little flat bead on one side with a domed top. So this is what your cabochon bead looks like. This is what your Rosetta bead looks like. The Rosetta beads, I think are they the same size? The Rosettas are 1 millimeter smaller than the cabochons. So, this design works for the cabochon beads as well. And I actually showed you this in one of our turquoise show, part 2, and you guys said you were interested in this design. So this was a design with the cabochon beads, and you can see you get a similar vibe, but completely different look with that beautiful rose design on these beads. So you could grab some cabochons as well. I think I have a few of them in the show today. And I've got every Rosetta bead, I think, in the show today as well. So we're going to work with the Rosettas, but know that you can replace with the cabochon beads. So I'm wearing a blue, like a navy blue shirt today with all kinds of gorgeous flowers on it. So I thought I would make myself a pair of earrings today, and I'm going to pick one of these 2 blue Rosettas. So here's Chatoyant Twilight Blue, and then here's Neon Country Montana. So I thought this might be a little bit easier for us to see as we work with it. But I also wanted to show you, since I mentioned turquoise, look at this neon silk mint. This to me is more turquoise than mint, but it is beautiful. So that's another pretty blue. And I thought I would just do something fun with the seed beads. So making an interesting combination. I've got pinks and yellows and mustards and greens in my shirt that I'm wearing. So I thought, interesting, let's try some Toho Icos with this. And then I'm going to throw in some silver, or actually some nickel 15-0s. Now, Michelle and Thaisa, you guys might need to add these. I don't think I put these in the show. These are actually opaque matte. Oh gosh. The number of the color is 1607F. I believe those are in stock. So I grabbed them out of my stash at the last minute because I thought these might look interesting with this blue. So just showing you how you can take an interesting finish, and I'll open these up look at these. Look at that super cool finish on these. So taking these, using a matte finish bead with them, and then a metallic for our 15-0s. Now, there's also lots of other cool options. This is a beautiful pink that has some blue in it. There's also this gorgeous color. This is fuchsia silver lined. I don't think either of these are in the show either, Michelle and Thaisa, but if you wouldn't mind trying to pop those in, this one is number 980. So those are pretty. And then there's also this pretty soft pink, which is transparent lustered rose. And I believe that is the one that went into this design here. And there's also in this one some matte 15-0s in a bronze. So, you know, it's all about, for me, combining the different textures, the different finishes, all of the different fun things that you can combine for a cool earring. So I'm going to put my samples off to the side. I'm going to put all of my different pieces off to the top here so you guys can at least see those. I only need 6 of these beads, but I'm going to hold them over to the side in case I need a replacement along the way. Now, for starters, you're going to need some thread. And what I'm using today is Fireline. And I'm using a 10-pound break. You could get away with an 8 or a 6. I like to use a 10-pound for this kind of a design, but you really don't need it. You could use a 6-pound or an 8-pound. And I'm using the crystal clear, which, you know, pretty much works with anything, but you could also use the darker one as well. So I believe this is in the show today as well. I'm using a size 11 needle. I was not able to find any tulips, but I did grab this to put in the show. This is a set of color eye needles. There's 6 of them, and they're color coded so that you can see what size your needles are. And there are 2 11s in this little kit. This is a great little kit. If you need needles for different projects, this is a great way to get it. And they're color coded. So if it gets detached from the package, you know what color or what size you're working with. So I've already threaded my needle for the first time. I'm sure I'll probably have to rethread it at some point. And I've got probably just shy of a wingspan. And if you don't know what a wingspan is, it's taking the thread, and I can't show you, but it's pulling your arms out all the way so that your arms are off to your side like you're spreading your wings. And that length is probably more than you need, but I always am going to use more, especially when I'm showing somebody how to do something. It just gives me a little bit of peace of mind that I'm not going to run out. But you could probably get away with about half a wingspan for this project. So I'm going to take my needle, and for starters, I'm going to add 5 seed beads, and that will either create my top or my bottom, which is just a little loop or a little embellishment at the bottom. But at one side, it's going to allow you to attach your ear wire. So I'm going to start by picking up those 15s. Now, as I said, if you don't like 15s, you can always try 11-0s. You may have to adjust the number of them at the top and the bottom, but you can try that. I like the dimension that the 15-0s adds to this project. So I'm going to pull those on, and I'm going to let them drop down, and I'm not putting any kind of a stopper bead on. I'm just going to keep a hold of my tail as I go along. So I've got my 5 seed beads, and then what I'm going to do is grab one of my Rosetta beads. And I'm going to go through the 2 holes, grabbing up something else there, and we're going to go through that bead to start with, okay? Now, the next step is we're going to do one of our 11s, and with Icos, they're a little bit smaller than a round seed bead. So I've not done this yet with Icos. So this is going to give us a little bit of a different look than the sample that I've got. So I'm going to pick up an 11, a 15, and another 11. And then I'm going to string those on. And you can see how this is creating an interesting color combination, interesting texture combination, and it's going to look really cool all together. Now, with your cabochon beads, or well, cabochon and Rosetta beads, something you need to be aware of is you want to make sure that you string on your beads with the going on the right direction, because one side is flat and one side is the rose pattern. So you want to make sure that all of your beads are orienting in the right direction so that you don't have one bead facing the wrong direction as you go along. So just double check yourself to make sure your beads are facing the right direction. Okay. So then I'm going to pick up another 11-0, another 15-0, another 11-0, like that. And then I'm going to pull those beads down, keeping track of my tail on my piece here. And then I'm going to add one more Rosetta, and this would work again with a cabochon bead. So I'm going to string that on and make sure that everything's facing in the right direction, and it is. And then I'm going to add another 5 15-0s. So I'm going to grab those with my needle. Got 4 and 5. And I like an uneven number up top, but you might like a bigger loop up top. Maybe maybe you are also using a different size bead, so you can do something different there if you'd like. So this is our first row that's completed. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back down through the other side of this Rosetta. Remember, it's a 2-hole bead, so we're going to go down this side. So let me make sure I've got a good hold on everything here. And just holding this in my hand, and I'm going to find that second hole on my Rosetta, and I'm going to pull my thread through, and it's going to create that little loop up top. Let me get my thread. So just like that. And then we're going to just add our seed beads now. So we've got all the Rosettas we need on our piece. So I'm going to pick up an 11, trying to get to the other side here, and grab another 15 and another 11. And then we're going to go down that middle Rosetta bead. And that's what we're looking like so far. So we've got some interesting colors. We've got some interesting finishes. We've got some really cool texture with these. So that looks really cool. Then I'm going to grab another 11, another 15, another 11, maybe. Come on, buddy. There we go. So got those guys. And then we're going to go through that last Rosetta bead. And if you guys are beginners in terms of working with seed beads and doing 2-hole bead and seed bead projects, this is a really easy one. So I want you to feel confident in doing this because this is super easy. It looks fancier and harder than it actually is. So we're gonna now. We're now at the other end, and we've added all the beads we need to add to start with. We'll have one more addition of beads, but before we start adding, we need to go through and back down these beads here. So these are the first beads that we added, or the last beads that we added. And I'm going to go through all of them and maybe trying to see that. And then I'm going to go through that first Rosetta. And what I'm doing here, trying to keep the tail out of the way, is I'm going to create that other loop. And I'm going to pull on both ends, both threads. And then I've created that loop up top. And I've got my tail up here. So this is my tail that I'm holding on to. And then we're going to go and we're going to add beads. Now, I'll show you again our sample piece. So you'll see that there are some beads, like a little picot on either side of the middle section. And that's what we're going to add next. So we're going to add those secondarily. So we've done our kind of our base piece, but now I'm going to do a reverse of the seed beads. But first I'm going to go through, I can see I'm coming out of that Rosetta bead. I'm going to go through that first yellow bead, or that first 11-0, because you probably will have a different color. So I'm going to come out of there, and then I'm going to create my picot. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to pick up a 15. I'm going to pick up an 11. I can see it. And another 15. Sorry if that's off camera a little bit. So I've now got the reverse that I added in the straight line here. So I'm coming out of that yellow bead. I'm going to skip over the silver bead or the nickel bead, and I'm going to go through the yellow and down through that next Rosetta. And what I want to do is just give that a little tap, and we've got this cute little Rosetta, cute little like picot shape in between the Rosetta. So now we're just going to do the same thing all the way around. And while we're doing that, we're actually reinforcing our piece. So I went just around once. Oh, I forgot. I got to go through the yellow bead. So when you come out of the Rosetta, you could also come through that yellow bead at the same time. So just double checking where that's coming out. So you want to make sure you're coming out of that bead right there. So you can see your thread, give it a little tug. And then we reinforced, we came around once, but this is going to help us reinforce the whole piece. So I'm going to go down through that other yellow bead and through my Rosetta, and give that a little tug. And now I've got those two cute little picots on either side. So just like that. And it actually creates a cool little pattern. Now the Ico beads are doing a little bit something different than the round seed beads. So this, you'll see, is a little bit of a different look than those round beads. So you can choose your vibe. You can choose your look. Again, it's just another variation of what you can do when you create this. So I'm going to go up then through my little 5 beads up top. So this is my little loop here. Could be the top, could be the bottom. I'm going to go through the first 2, and then I'm going to go through the one at the top. I don't know why I do it this way. I don't know that it matters, but it's just the way I like to do it. So I'm going to come down through those 2 beads. Well, maybe. Come down through those 2 beads and pull my thread through. Maybe. Can get a hold of it. And then I'm going to go through my Rosetta and that first yellow bead on this side, because now we need to add our picos or little trios to this side. And I'm going to give that a little bit of a tug. So give my thread a little bit of a tug, and you can decide how you want to move through the piece, how you want to stitch. You can, flip your piece around, flip it around this way. It's whatever you're most comfortable with. I'm trying to show you the different ways as I go, just in case that resonates with you. So now I'm coming out of that yellow there. So I'm going to pick up my 15, my 11, and another 15. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to go through, skipping over the 15 or the silver bead in this case, going through the yellow bead and then going through my Rosetta. And then just kind of giving that little guy a tap. Sometimes it doesn't want to do that shape, but it should settle in there once you start kind of messing with it a little bit. It should do what it's supposed to do. There we go. It's almost exactly the way it should be. So then, let's see. Did I actually do that right? Did it go through that? Yeah, okay. So then we're going to do one more of our little picos, and then it's all about reinforcement, you guys. Then we're just going to reinforce the whole piece. And I just got to grab one more 15 here, and then we'll have all of our beads on the piece. So, oh, and I did it again. I'm always forgetting to go back down through that first yellow bead, through the first 11-0. So going down through there. Now I can pick up these guys. So a 15, an 11, and a 15. Skipping over our 15, going down through the 11, and going down through the Rosetta. And pulling those guys through, kind of giving that a little bit of direction on where it's supposed to go, how it's supposed to sit, like so. And now look at that fun. These look like little flowers with the other flowers. Are you sure the thread went through the yellow? Maybe. Maybe. It looks like it did. It looks right. It looks right now that I'm looking at it. So now we've got that little like flower and flower type design. So the next thing I want to do is I want to reinforce. So you'll notice I've got my tail over here, which I've been paying less attention to because everything's secure. So I don't have to worry about that tail. But I am going to take my my working thread, and I'm going to go up through that little loop of beads. And this is important because you really want your loop to be reinforced, because that's where you're going to be connecting your ear wire. So one thing I do then is, so when I reinforce, I'm only going to reinforce going through the first set of beads that we put on. So I'm not going to reinforce the little picos. You can if you want to. It's a lot of extra, passes and things. But I kind of like that the little picos are a little bit softer. So I'm going to go through as many beads as I can, and I'm going to pull that through. And then it's just a matter of making sure you go through the first line of beads. So remember, we added an 11, a 15, and an 11, and then the Rosetta. So you don't want to go through the outer pass. You want to go through the first pass of beads. And this gets a little funky because your beads are kind of being pushed around a little bit by those picot shapes. And you can always check where you're coming from by pulling on your thread, and I'm going to go into that little path of beads there. And then I'm going to go up and I'm going to reinforce this end of little seed beads of our little 15s. And I'm just going to go up through the first two. And then I'm going to go through the middle one. And then I'm going to go through the last two. And then try and get through all the way through that first yellow bead. You can go through as few or as many as you're comfortable with. It's really up to you. There's no contest for speed or anything, but I'm going to go through as many as I feel comfortable going through at each pass. And certainly if you want to reinforce multiple times, you're going to get, you're going to run out of space in those beads. So you just will find it a little bit harder to get through with each pass. So I'm going to pull that tight, and there we have our cute little earring design. Now, this is, again, like just one of the many different combinations of things that you can do. And look at it sideways. So I almost thought, wouldn't this be fun as a bracelet? So you could keep going and create this as a bracelet instead of an earring. Maybe you're not an earring gal, but you love your bracelets. This could be a great way to create a fun bracelet. Could you reinforce before you add the edges? Yeah, you could. I like the ease of kind of doing that all in one swoop, Linda, but that's certainly an option. Yeah, I love the bracelet idea too, and I thought it would take us a long time to make it, but if you continue on, so what you would do to do the bracelet is you would start with your 15 O's, a little loop of them, and maybe you would make that a little bit bigger, or you might stitch in a wire guard. Some folks like a wire guard at the end of a bracelet. You could stitch that in. You could also stitch in your clasp. There's lots of different things you could do to end it, but you would just keep going before you add that second loop. So you would just keep going, add a Rosetta, three beads, Rosetta, 3 beads, Rosetta, 3 beads. Get it as long as you want it to get your ruler out and create that way. And then when you think you've got it to the right length, then add your loop at the other end. So just an idea if you don't want earrings or you want a matching bracelet to your earrings, that's what you could do. So I'm going to really quickly, I'm just going to do a knot, but you could do different, you could do a knot and take your beads down or your thread down and do some more reinforcing. I'm just going to do a knot for the sake of today because I want to show you one more combination. So then what I'm going to do is grab my thread burner and I'm going to cut off my excess. And again, you could reinforce a little bit more with your ends and have just a really pretty piece. So then just to show you what I do with the ear wire. So I like a good French hook with a ball end. That's kind of my go-to ear wire. I love all ear wires, but this is one of my go-tos, and especially for this kind of a design. I've been making this design now for a few months, and I really like this kind of an ear wire. Although I will say with these cabochon beads, this ear wire looked so perfect. I believe this one is in the show today as well. So what I do is I open up my ear wire and I take the end, put it through that loop, and then I position that that loop right into the ear wire. And then I'm going to close that guy up. And so you've got a really pretty little fun earring. Now, I thought we could do just a couple of other little combos of things, you guys. So what if you want to do a bracelet? You could do a bracelet with a combination of colors. So let's just do a little color combining here so you can see all of the beautiful combinations of beads you've got. So maybe you want to do a bracelet and have it be an ombre look. So look at this. This combination, all of the beads have the same finish except this one. But they're so cool. Such a pretty combination. Yeah, ombre for sure, Gina. Like these all look so beautiful together. But if you want to start thinking about fall, I love this combination with all of my heart and soul. I love this combination. This kind of reminds me of like marigolds, like marigold flowers. You can throw in a couple of gold tones. So if you guys are picking up these beads today for different projects, so maybe you want to make earrings, but you like the idea of an ombre bracelet or just a combination of beads for a bracelet, this is a cool combo. And I'm going to move that one over you so you can kind of see the different combinations here. But these two are slightly different in color, and that's why I think it makes sense as an ombre. You could also pull this one in if you want a lighter tone. So these are super cool together. Just a really cool combination. You could take the metallic out. Look at that. That's an amazing color. So I love fall. And ooh, here, we could even throw this one in too. And you've got some beautiful colors here. This is such a cool one. This is neon country brick. Country brick? Yeah, country brick. Look at that. That is such a cool color. Now, if you want to go, really interesting with your flowers, you could go all metallics. So you could do all of these metallic tones. I think there's one more somewhere here. Maybe that's it. That you could do all of like these gold, silver, hematite. Like maybe you like flowers, but you want them to be a little bit more rock and roll. This is a cool combination here. So just an idea for you. Now, when you start thinking about seed beads, I showed you this funky color earlier. You could do something like that with this copper metallic. This would be cool with this one. So I got to show you these. These are amazing. So this is probably one of my favorites. These are called, this is vacuum plating, and this is Slipper It Full. And this goes amazingly with these seed beads. So when we did this design today, if you don't want to do two colors, you could do all one. And again, that changes the look. It changes the vibe. You could do all of the same seed bead in this. You could do all your seed beads all the way around and then just add a trio of them for your little accent pieces. And remember, we've got the difference of the rounds and the icos. So the rounds are giving a little bit more of a bulbous look. These are coming a little bit more triangular, but that's part of the beauty here. Pick some, look at this. They're so cool. So pick your rosettas, pick your seed beads. The ear wires don't need to be fancy because we want the earring to do the talking. Another thing, you guys, is you could do more rosettas. You could do 4 of them versus 3. You could do 5 of them, make it longer. And like we talked about, you could also make yourself a bracelet and just keep going with those rosettas. do one color, do two colors, do 4 or 5. All of these combinations just look so beautiful together. So the thing I have been crazy about is just kind of putting a bouquet of them together. So they are Rosetta beads. So putting them together are just, that's part of the fun, is putting them all amazingly together and see how they match up. And then with all of the amazing seed beads that you've got, you just need some seed beads for to finish it off. Look at that pink combination. Now, some of you may not like the neon, but look at that pink. So pretty. The neon is pretty spectacular. And you could also do some of the neons. Look at this pair of neons here. And I love the idea of the neons with like just a metallic seed bead. Just put a really, really pretty metallic with it. And that would be so incredibly cool. Oh, Jill, you have my heart with that statement. I think this would make an awesome choker necklace. Yes, please. Please, Jill, make one and share it. I also think, turquoise always works. Look at turquoise and pink together. Super fun. I'm just having fun showing you the different combos. What if you went like neutrals? Like, okay, here's like a silver gray with a cream and a white. Super subtle, but really pretty. That's a fun combo. You've also got this dark gray and dark blue. I was thinking about this blue. You could use this kind of hematite shade with it. This almost kind of goes nautical. You could throw the white in and you've got a nautical combination. Wedding jewelry. Yes. Okay. So wedding jewelry. You could pick up one of these two whites. So this is vacuum plating AB full. I don't know the actual name of the color. It's probably white. And then this one is white jasmine. So you could do one of these with whatever colors your bride has. So maybe your bride is like a lavender, or maybe she's going with a blue. So pretty. Even like this combination, so pretty. Maybe you've got a woman that is getting ready to give birth and she doesn't know what she's having yet. So this could be somehow in the gender reveal. I don't know. Somehow that could be kind of fun. You could add this pretty color here. You guys, these Rosetta beads are just so much fun. And I know these earrings are just like, easy peasy to make, but look at all of the different ways you can do something with them. And if you're a cabochon bead person and you want to play around with the cabochons, you can do the same exact design. And again, the cabochon options, there's so many options. On these cabochons, by the way, I think I showed these. These are opaque turquoise Picasso. And then if I can find them, I used a Picasso seed bead too. Oh, here they are. I used a Picasso seed bead. So these were both in our For the Love of Turquoise show. So this combination, super fun. So this is a hybrid turquoise Picasso. This combination, muy bien, muy bueno. It's so good. Delicious combination. And I think I used some matte 15-0s, matte bronze 15-0s. So look at that, is a fun one. So I encourage you, if you are a beginner with needle and thread, this is a super fun earring to make. You guys will have a blast. You can make this. I believe in you. I know you can. You can do this. If I can do this, you can do this. So I'm gonna put on the pink one since I didn't make the second blue one. Actually, I'll put the blue one on first just so you can see what it looks like. So here is the blue, and it's a small little earring. So you may want it to be a little bit longer. So just add more rosettas and you've got a fun earring. And then I'm gonna put this one with a pop of pink on because pink is one of my colors and I've got some pink in my shirt. So let's put on this other pink earring and see if we can, yeah, I love that. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. Thank you guys. I hope you will give this a try. And even if you don't like these earrings, the Rosetta beads can be done with so many other things. Becky did an amazing bracelet project, and I'm not sure if Julie has done her project yet. I can't remember if her show is already done or if it's coming, but she did something really fun as well. So these are just fun little earrings. Make yourself the earrings, make a matching bracelet, a choker. I would love, and I'm seeing happy birthday, Jill. So happy birthday, Jill. Kim Caldwell says, I've made these with the cabochons, but must do the Rosettas next. Okay, we want to see it, Kim. You guys, if you make something, please share in the Serious Art Beaters Facebook group. If you're not a member, go to Facebook and enter hashtag Serious Art Beaters into the browser and come and join us there. Share your designs, get some inspiration from everyone else. There are things being shown off every single day there. Lots of great participation there. And thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to check out of your cart. Some of these things may be limited, so you don't want to miss out on them. If you love them, get them on their way to you. And you guys, let's see, it's Monday. So Wednesday, you'll see Julie here. Thursday, you'll see Becky. I'll be back Friday afternoon to wrap up the week for Art Beads Fab Friday. I hope you have an amazingly creative week. I hope you all are warm and safe wherever you are. And thanks for being here.